Aloha. I was opening my sunroof yesterday and I just started hearing a clicking, and my sunroof was stuck in the open position. I opened the panel, couldn't find a port to be able to manually shut the window, so here's my process of closing it. Alright, once you get the panel off, you have to take these two bolts off here. And they're in a horrible spot, so I'm just having to use wrench and manually take them off. So we'll take you to the next step once I get those off. Alright, once you get those bolts out, you just got to pull the motor out. And you can see it's packed with grease, looks pretty healthy. When you look up there, you can actually see that the belt here is broken, so that's why it's not working anymore. So we're gonna have to get we're gonna have to figure that one out. All right, so we're starting to take off the visors. You're gonna remove this clip right here. Exposes those two screws, which I've already removed. Gently slide it out, because there is the wiring harness that provides light to the mirror. Obviously we don't want it dangling by that, but so we're gonna disconnect that just by pushing in that tab and sliding out. Okay. To remove the other clip, you just push up, turn, and it slides right out. To remove the handles, it's gonna pop open the brackets on both sides. You can see there's a screw on either side. We're gonna take those out. When they're done, it's gonna look like that. All right, so next we're just gonna remove the headliner trim here around the sunroof. It just pops right off. Just take that off and we'll set it off to the side. All right, we are going to want to open up this trim piece right here. Be careful. Obviously your airbag is in there, so gently prying it off just so you can expose the headliner. We'll do that on both sides. You can use a trim tool if you have it. Otherwise, use a putty knife or a flat blade screwdriver. Just being careful not to damage anything and not to release your airbag. All right, when you gently pull down your headliner, key emphasis on gentle. Obviously you have all your wiring in there, so we don't want to put any extra stress on any of your wiring harnesses in there, but pull it down and you have access to your motor mount and your belt for the sunroof. So all right, so I ended up having to go a little deeper. Ended up taking the whole assembly out of the vehicle, and you can see that the belt is broken and is jammed in the track. So I'm going to go ahead and use some screwdrivers, pliers, and hammers and get the belt removed as much as I can so I can manually shut the window. All right, after using a hammer and flathead screwdriver, I was able to get it loose, and it is moving now. So you can see, or you could pull on the cables or the belts, but the sunroof is moving. So I'm going to go ahead and reinstall it and shut it, and for the time being leave it as is till I order another assembly to replace it. All right, this is it put back together. So I had to go through, obviously disconnect your drain lines. There's 4 of them, 2 in the back, 2 in the front, slide right out. Had to take out that bracket, so that nut, that bolt, that nut. There's another bracket right here, and a couple nuts are all the way around. There was 1, 2, so 4 brackets, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nuts you have to take out. And like I said, and then your water lines, and then slowly but surely you can get your whole unit out, whole assembly out, and fix it. I was actually able to refeed my line through, and I'm going to be able to continue using it because my motor's fine. I just had to cut the end of it where it had gotten jammed and all mangled up, but the actual mechanics of it are working fine. I just can't open the window fully just because I had to cut the last couple inches off on each side. So I'll give another update as I move on. All right, I got the headliner pushed back in. Just feed it back in along the trim. Make sure any wire harnesses are coming out where they need to, and there's obviously one up by each of your visors, 2 that come out for the actual sunroof motor, and then the back light. And then I didn't add in the video earlier, but I did have to remove the back handles also, which were the same process as the front. Remove the 2 little clips and 2 screws on each. And yeah, so once again, I'll show another video when I get to the next step. All right, moment of truth. We're gonna test out, see if it worked, and see if it's still working, if it's gonna shut the door. You can see I was able to manually shut it, but it's still open just a little bit, and beautiful. So like I said, it will function. I'm just not gonna be able to open the window all the way, otherwise it's the belt's gonna go out of the motor, because I had to cut a couple inches off the belt. But other than that, it's working as it should. It ended up being a lot more work than I was expecting. Hindsight 2020, I probably should have just pulled harder on it, but the wires in the belt were wrapped around the whole mechanism, so I really don't know if I would have been able to do anything less than taking the whole assembly out. But if anybody has any suggestions of how I could have made that easier, let me know. And if this helps anybody, enjoy and like the video. Thanks.